All right guys, today we're going to take a look at how we're going to stretch your hamstrings safely when you might have a little bit of neural tension sensitivity in the low back. If somebody told you this, then you know that you have it. They should have not just told you, but shown you this. Or if you hop up on a table or chair and you slouch down, you bring your chin down to your chest, pull your leg up, your ankle, your foot there, dorsiflex it, and then slowly extend until you get some tightness or stretching or pain or whatever it might be, and you point your toes away. If that gets less, that's neural tension sensitivity. What we really want to look for is it different on the other side? Like, oh, yep, I get it much sooner on this side. It's much better there. Worse here, better there. Maybe it's worse when you put your toes up, better when you look up too. That's a clear sign that it has nothing to do with your hamstrings, right? And if you are that person that likes to come down here and stretch your hamstrings and pull your toes back and bring your head down, you're like, oh, I get much more of a stretch here. You look up, your stretch gets less, or you point your toes away, your stretch gets less. That's not a hamstring stretch, that's a sciatic nerve stretch. And that's probably bad juju. You probably want to stay away from that. When I say probably, I mean definitely. Also, whenever we're stretching, we don't want to be rounding our back. That's not stretching your hamstrings at all. We want a hip hinge. So here's a way that if any of that stuff is an issue for you, and you have actual hamstring tightness, actually let's talk about that for a second. Because when you have neural tension sensitivity, oftentimes is described as, oh, my hamstrings feel so tight, or in the arm, oh, my shoulder, my neck feels so tight, I just want to stretch. But while that might even feel good, at the time, it's oftentimes a bad thing. That's filling your bucket. It's giving your nervous system some input that might make you feel a little bit better right now, but it's actually going to make things worse later on, all right? So if you're questioning, is my hamstring tight? I don't know. Just lay on your back, right? Bring your knee to 90 degrees, put your hands behind your knees, keep your toes pointed away, and then extend your leg. If you can get to somewhere about here or completely straight, right, without a whole bunch of resistance, then you're good. If you're less than about 10 degrees missing of extension here, then you might be a little bit tight. But you're fine if you're here. You're really fine if you're here. But if you bring your toes up and you're like, oh yeah, I feel it there, and it goes away here and you can go further, that is not hamstring tightness. You do not need to stretch that, all right? We see this very often when people come from other medical providers. Oh, I tell my hamstring's tight. I need to stretch it. I mean, actually, you doing that is what's kept you in pain for so long. So if you do have a little bit of neural tension sensitivity and you do actually have tight hamstrings, a good way to stretch it is to get on your knee, a little padding if you want to. We're going to stretch the front leg. We always want to hold on for balance so we're not using these muscles to stabilize us, right? So we hold on for balance, stand up tall, head is looking forward, toes are pointed away, and we're going to make sure that our foot's not falling out to the side, but top of the foot's up towards the ceiling, right? Toes are pointed straight away from us. And for some of you guys, this might be enough to stretch it. If we need more, we're going to hip hinge back, right, to bring our chest down, keeping our back nice and flat. We're not doing this. That's just adding tension to the nervous system. And we don't want to bring this down because, again, that's just going to add tension to the nervous system. We want to add tension to the hamstring, which means we need to separate where it starts from where it ends. And that is done with a hip hinge here. And then you can add a little bit of hold, relax, where you're trying to curl your knee in a little bit, and that should actually get rid of that stretch when you're doing that. We're trying to do a hamstring curl. And then you exhale, relax, maybe get into a little bit more. Always work in some kind of yoga type breathing, and remember, there's no pain faces. If you're making pain faces and holding your breath, again, you're telling your nervous system, hey, fight or flight, let's turn on, let's resist this, let's get tense, and we're trying to do the opposite here. And we always want to contract, relax to get the brain involved, to allow us to remember, theoretically, that we have this, not theoretically, that's not the word, but you know what I mean, to allow our brain to recognize that we have this new range and we can use it. And you can use both sides of the joint here. We can come down to that stretch. You can squeeze the quad and hold that for a couple seconds and then relax. And then can we get further? And then squeeze the hamstring by trying to do that curl for a couple seconds, relax, and can we get further? And incorporate the breathing. So breathe in slowly, 3-4 seconds, right? Hold your breath for a couple seconds while you're holding your breath. Engage that muscle. And then as you slowly exhale over 6, 7, 8 seconds, slowly relax the muscle. And then see, can I take up a little bit more range? All right? So like, share, comment, Let us know how it goes for you, and we'll see you next time.